Hey, what's up? It's Darius Rucker. Thank you so much for submitting your Ask Anything questions. And I want to give a special thanks to my man Cody and everybody at CMT for having me on the show. So let's get to the questions. All right. Amber from Toccoa wants to know, what's your favorite place to visit? Oh, good question. I love a lot of places that I've gotten to be, but I think Bermuda is probably my favorite vacation spot that I've ever. I just think it's a beautiful island. It's wonderful. The people are wonderful. I've been going there for years, and so I think Bermuda is my favorite place to visit there, Amber. Rhonda from Evansville wants to know, when is the next album coming out? Rhonda, the next album's coming out in February. Early next year. I think it's going to be February. I'm excited about it. We haven't named it yet, but I think it might be called Southern Style, so make sure you pick that up, Rhonda. Thank you. Good question. George from Seattle wants to know, have you ever thought about doing a Broadway show, and if so, what would be your top choice? Well, there was a show that almost came to Broadway years ago, and I did everything for it. I did the play for investors and all that stuff, and I was almost that close to doing it, but didn't work out, didn't come to Broadway. But if I had the choice to do a show that's out right now, probably The Lion King. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen, and I just want to be one of the people, in the ensemble cast. I just thought that was an amazing show, and I would love to do that. Even Wicked, I'd love to be in Wicked. I think that's a great show too. But I love Broadway. I've seen a few plays, and I just love going to those plays. Big question for you. Morgan from Ladera Ranch wants to know, what is your overall favorite song you've written? Oh man, Morgan, they're like my kids. I mean, I love them all. I just think writing songs, you put so much of yourself into it that I really couldn't name one that I love more than the other ones. I love playing the new song. I love Homegirl Honey, but I also love Let Her Cry. I still love, so that's 30 years between writing those two songs. So they're like my kids. I couldn't tell you which one's my favorite. Linda from Butler wants to know, what does country music mean to you? Country music is the heart and soul of our country. I think it means the world to me. I think country music is reality. I mean, everybody seems to write songs about what's going on in everyday life and in everybody's life, and that's one thing I love with it. So I'd say country music means real life. Thank you, Linda. Linda, that was a good question. Let's see. Mackenzie from Austin wants to know, what would you say your biggest accomplishment has been so far? My biggest accomplishment so far is raising my kids, is being a dad to my kids. That's the thing that I'm most proud of and most, and I think that I put most of my energy and most time in is being a dad to my kids. So I think my biggest compliment is raising 3 kids and having one in college now, and the other 2 get through school, and by far that's the best thing I've ever done. Let's see. Krista from Long Beach wants to know, what holiday traditions from your childhood have you continued with your wife and children? The biggest tradition that I guess I continue this, even when I was a kid, our biggest thing was the whole family got together. And every Christmas to this day, except for the couple Christmases that we went up to New Jersey where we watched them, I get with my brothers and sisters, and we all get together and have a big meal together and talk and laugh and have a great time and reminisce. So that's definitely a hard tradition, is just getting with the family and having a big meal and just spending time together. Let's see. Woo! Jeremy from Singapore. That's a long way away. He wants to know, which song were you most excited about recording for your Christmas album? I was excited about What God Wants for Christmas because after we wrote it, I was so proud of it, and I really wanted to cut it and see what it would come out and sound like. And I was very excited about The Grinch because I knew I was going to have my kids on it, and that was fun. But I love those songs. Every song on that record meant something to me. Either growing up, either singing it in choir or some album that it was on that meant the world to me because we heard it all the time. So all the songs mean a lot to me, but I think the song I was most excited to record was What God Wants for Christmas. Oh, goodness. Wow, Susan from Belfast. If you won the lottery, would you retire? No, I don't think I would retire. But I don't know if I'd work as much. I was away from home last year in 2014. I was away from home something like 220 days or something, and that's just a lot. That's a lot to be leaving the family and coming back and being away from the family. So I definitely would retire, but I don't think I'd work as much. That's for sure. Mary from Winter Park wants to know. Mary from Winter Park says, "I would love to know what your favorite Christmas song is." My favorite Christmas song of all time is Nat King Cole's version of a Christmas song. I think it's the most perfect Christmas song. The words, but mostly the way he sings it. I mean, Nat just kills that song. Every time I hear it, it gives me chills. So not definitely, but I would, if I had to pick one, my favorite Christmas song would be the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. Here we go. Robert from England wants to know, says, "You and your band seem so happy when performing in Europe recently." We had a blast. Do you enjoy performing over here just as much as back in the U.S.? Oh, absolutely. I love to play music. Ever since I was 4 years old, all I wanted to do was sing and play music for people for a living, and I get to do it. And when I go over to England and Germany and all the places, I'm going to Australia next year. When I go to all those places, it's just as great. I love seeing people that I haven't seen before and haven't seen me before, and I love it. I love traveling abroad, and I'll be getting to come back to England next year and the year after, and I hope I keep getting to do things like that because I love it, Robert. That's a good question too, man. Let's see. Derek from Middlesbrough says, "If you could put together a dream band of musicians, dead or alive, who would you choose and for what?" Great question. Oh, goodness. I'm McCartney on bass. I would have Hendrix on guitar, Lennon on the other guitar. I would have Elton John on keyboards. My horn section would be the original Tower Power horns. And my drummer, goodness gracious, my drummer would probably be John Bonham, because with all those big musicians, you need somebody who can really hit the drums heavy, and I would love every minute of that. That would be awesome. That'd be great question, Derek. Oh, my background singers would be Rita Marley and. Her all the girls that sang with Marley back in the day, because their harmonies were just perfect and great for what they did. So that'd be a lot of fun. Great question, Derek. I love that question. Dean from Nottingham wants to know, do you ever miss your days with Hootie and Blowfish? I miss those guys, but we still play 5 or 6 shows a year. Every year, we're still great friends. We still hang out. We still play golf together. We still talk. I was texting with Sony yesterday. So I miss them, but every time I get to the point where I miss them, we have a show coming up. And so it's still a lot of fun, and we'll always be a band. I don't think we'll ever say we're not a band. I just think we'll never put out a press release that we broke up, because we're pretty good friends, and we still play so much together. So I miss them, but every time I miss them, I get to play with them. Good question. Let's see. Amy from St. Augustine wants to know, what's your favorite holiday snack? Eggnog. I love eggnog. I just think it's awesome. I can't wait for the holidays, so I go get me a gallon of it and drink it all before the holidays are over. And it's by far my favorite holiday snack. Eggnog. I love it. Heather from Statesville wants to know, what's a typical Christmas day like at the Ruckers? Oh, it's probably as normal as they come. Usually around 4:30, we have some kids come in and saying, Dad, Santa was here, and we always go, but go back to sleep for another hour or so. Then we end up getting up around 5 or 5:30, and we sit around, and it's usually the 5 of us, and we sit around and just open presents. I got my video recording all the presents being opened and everything, and just excitement with the kids. And then we have a nice breakfast and hang out, listen to Christmas music, watch the parade, Christmas parade, and all that stuff, and hang out and be together, play with toys, and hang out. Then right after, when other people are up and right after breakfast, we go out and visit our friends that are in the neighborhood and stuff, and exchange gifts and hang out and have a great time. And then around 2 or 3 around dinner, right before dinner time, we go to one of my sister's house. This year we're having it at my house. They'll come to me, and I get together with my family, and we have a big meal, and we enjoy each other's company, and laugh and talk, and then the day's over. That's a typical Christmas day in my life. Let's see. Rachel from Nuneaton. I hope I'm pronounced that right. Nuneaton or Nuneaton, one of the two. It's Noneaton. She says, "I love your dog on the cover of Home for the Holidays. What breed is she?" It's a she, and what's its name? Her name is Shula, named after the great coach Don Shula of the Miami Dolphins and other teams. And she is what she called a Coton de Terre, which I don't know where that came from. My bass player, John Mason, breeded them back when we first started playing together, and so I got it from John. But she's the smartest dog I've ever known without having any training. She's smart. She does all the stuff, roll over and heel and stay, and all the stuff you wanted to do without ever training her to do it. And she's our little. We love Shula. And when we took that picture, I'm taking pictures, and she just comes up and she stands next to me, and we didn't, I didn't grab her. She just comes next to me. My wife was like, "Shula, get out of the picture," and she just looked at my wife like, "I'm getting this picture." And so I thought it was really cool, and we left. And she actually made the album cover, and that was pretty awesome. I love that dog, Rachel. Let's see. Noah from Spokane wants to know: are any of your kids interested in going into music like you? Well, yeah. My son especially talks about, he wants to be a drummer, but he also wants to be a football player, basketball player, and all that stuff. So, they talk about it. Music's a hard business. If I had to choose for them, I'd want them to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, something like that. But, I'm taking pictures, and she just comes up and she stands next to me, and we didn't, I didn't grab her. She just comes next to me. My wife was like, "Shula, get out of the picture," and she just looked at my wife like, "I'm getting this picture." And so I thought it was really cool, and we left. And she actually made the album cover, and that was pretty awesome. I love that dog, Rachel. Let's see. Noah from Spokane wants to know: are any of your kids interested in going into music like you? Well, yeah. My son especially talks about, he wants to be a drummer, but he also wants to be a football player, basketball player, and all that stuff. So, they talk about it. Music's a hard business. If I had to choose for them, I'd want them to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, something like that. But, if one of them decides they really want to go to it, I'll do all I can to help them. But, hopefully they won't, be doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. Like, Mama, don't let your baby go up to your Cowboys. Yeah. Let's see. Kathy from Toronto says, "What does it feel like knowing you have so many people looking up to you and your music?" It feels great, Kathy. Like I said before, all I've wanted since I was 4 was to sing music for a living and play music for people and make people happy, and I get to do that. And, I take that very seriously, and it's something that's very dear and important to me. And, I can't thank the people enough who bought my records and come to shows and actually make it able for me to do this for a living. And I don't know if those people look up to me, but just the fact that they like my music, that's just amazing. And so I just keep trying to put on good music so those people can be happy with what I'm doing and be happy with listening to what I do. So it means the world to me to have people like my music. Let's see. Neva from Grantsville says, "What inspired you to become a musician?" When I was a young kid, 4, 5, my mom was a big Al Green fan, and Al Green was always playing in our house, and I loved him. I just thought it was great. And I would sit in my room, and I'd sit in the living room with one of those big hi-fis that was bigger than this couch, and I would sit there, and I would listen to Al Green records and just sing along. I'll never forget that one of the sad days of my life was when I hit puberty, and I couldn't sing those Al Green songs anymore. I couldn't hit those high notes, and that was very disappointing. But Al Green was my total inspiration to become a musician, and I'm glad Mom played out because I think just hearing his voice made me want to someday be able to do that. So that was my inspiration to be a musician. Nice question, Eva. Let's see, we got here's one. Sarah from Springfield. What are you most looking forward to this Christmas? Being with my family. That's the thing I'm looking forward to more than anything else in the world, is just hanging out with my family, my kids, my wife, going to see my sisters and brothers on Christmas Day and their kids and my nieces and nephews and cousins and all that. I look forward to that every year. I love it. It's so important to me. It's family's everything. So that's definitely the thing I'm most looking forward to is being with family. Lori from Ellicott City asks, have you ever given any thought to acting? Well, not a lot of people know this, but I was in Shallow Hal for about a split second. I mean, like most people who have seen Shallow Hal right now going, he was in Shallow Hal? Yes, I was. When you get to the end of the movie, and it's the first time Jack Black sees Gwyneth as the way she is, and I'm the maitre d' in the restaurant who's seeing everybody. And so I've been asked to do a couple things, and a couple things I wanted to do, didn't have the time to do it, and stuff like that. But I got some friends in Hollywood who keep asking me and keep looking for things for me. So I think someday I might do something, but I just hope something really cool. I don't want to do some B movie or C movie and just to be in it. I want to do something that's really cool and just really cool, something that I can really be proud of. So yeah, I thought about acting. Someday I might do something. Thanks, Lori. Catherine from Annapolis wants to know, what made you want to put out a Christmas album? Ever since I signed with Capitol Records 7, 8 years ago, they've been asking me, am I going to make a Christmas record sometime? And I've always wanted to make a Christmas record. I've always wanted to make an old school Christmas record. And so went around, and this year just seemed like the year to do it. It just seemed like the perfect time. And we got together, and Frank Rogers and I, my producer, got together and decided what we wanted to do, what kind of record we wanted to make, and he was on board with what I wanted to do, and so we just felt like it was time. So, because I've always thought about it, and now I finally got down and I did it, and I'm really proud of that record. I mean, I'm so proud of Home for the Holidays. We did exactly what we wanted to do. We made an old school Christmas record, and I hope people enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it, Kevin. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Mike from Manchester wants to know, was it hard to transition in the country and being a solo act after so many years with Who Did Blowfish? Yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing. We worked really hard to get the success we got. I went to 120 radio stations or something like that when I first went out, 4 or 5 a day. Just going, meeting people and shaking hands and playing in conference rooms for 8 people and stuff like that, and I really did the work to have success. I got lucky. I got a record deal because I have a great manager, Doc McGee, who got me a record deal when I wasn't even looking for a record deal. I was going to do this. I was going to make my country record with my buddies in Charleston in the studio, and Doc McGee doesn't do things that way, and he got me a record deal. And I just happened to sign with a great guy, Mike Dungan, who's the head of Universal now, and it worked out great. It was a hard transition, but I had the support I needed. The label was behind me. It was really a lot of people had my back, and so it was hard work, but it worked out for all of us. And I can't say thank you enough to Mike Dungan and everybody at Capitol Records and everybody at McGee Management for the hard work they did for me to actually have a career in country music. It's pretty darn cool. Let's see. Here's one. Jackie from Memphis. I love Memphis. Is there any artist out right now Is there any artist out right now that you would like to collaborate with? Tons. I mean, Miranda, Carrie, Reba. Love to work with Brad Paisley again. Love to work with. Love to do something with Luke Bryan. Love to do something with Keith Urban. I mean, there's just so many. I'm leaving people out, and I'm mad at myself because there's so many I'd love to work with. I'd love to work with Little Big Town. I'd love to work with, already worked with Lady A and would work with them again in a heartbeat. Rascal Flatts. I'd love to be the 4th member of Rascal Flatts. It's just so many great artists that I look up to and I love that I would in a heartbeat drop anything to go work with. And those are just some of them. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that I would love to work with. Let's see. Casey from Hermitage wants to know, who would you cast to play yourself in a movie about your life? Ooh, good question. I would probably cast Jamie Foxx. Would be great. I think, I would love to I would love to think that Denzel Washington would be great, to play. But there's so many guys I think would be. Don Cheadle, I think would be awesome too. But I don't think anybody's rushing to make a story of Darius Rucker's life. But I think all those guys would be great. But probably if that ever happens, by the time they do that, there'll be a whole bunch of new actors out there doing it. So but those three I think would be awesome. Kim from Norwich wants to know, do you have any goals that you are still trying to achieve in your career? Yeah, that's the thing that keeps you motivated and keep you going is there's so many things you haven't done that you want to do. I would love to just keep playing country music for as long as I want. I don't want. My main goal right now is to not stick around past the time, past my expiration date. A lot of artists, when it's over and they've had a great run, don't want it to be over. I've had an amazing run twice. And so my goal right now is just to have fun and have success until the success is over, and then I'll go see a woman. Hopefully my kids are still young enough to enjoy me, and life is great. But I got a lot of things. I still think I got to do. From maybe being in the movie, having more success in country music. Got another Hootie record that's going to happen. So one more Hootie record that's going to happen someday. It's just a whole bunch of stuff I want to do, and that's what really keeps me motivated, kid. Let's see. Reese from Wolverhampton wants to know, besides Christmas, what's your favorite holiday? Well, Reese, we have this holiday over here in the States called Thanksgiving. And I love Thanksgiving because I love to eat and I'm real good at it. And so the food's great. And it's also a great time to get together with family and sit back and think about all the great things that's happening, all the wonderful things and all the wonderful blessings God's given you in your life. And to say thank you to Him for it. And that's what we use Thanksgiving for, just to say thank you for all the great things that I've been allowed to do, the great life I've been allowed to live, all the just wonderful things that I get to do. I mean, those things I am so thankful for. So Thanksgiving is a great holiday for me to remember that and say thanks to people. Well, thanks for sending in your questions. Thank you very much for sending your questions. And once again, thanks again to my man, Cody. Cody, you're my boy, Cody. We've known each other a long time. And, the CMT, all the support you've given me over the years. And thank you for having me do this now. I hope that was fun for you guys. It was for me. And thank you for your questions. See you later.